Hi, this is Dave with Miami Valley Gear Guys. I'm out here at John Bryan State Park and I brought with me some of the different backpacking stoves that we like to use, and I wanted to show you some of the major differences between them. We're going to break these stoves down into solid fuel stoves, liquid fuel stoves, and gas fueled stoves. This right here is a solid fuel tablet stove made by Esbit. The cook set is made by Esbit also, and they sell these solid fuel tablets, and so do other manufacturers. And you just set that up on this stand and light that, and then here this one comes with a windscreen and even with a pot set here. So this little solid fuel tablet, I think they smell like fish sometimes, and it doesn't bother me so much. I think they're real handy, and they are good for boiling water, but I wouldn't want to have to use one to cook with. Now that took a little bit more to light than they normally do, because the package had been sitting in my pack for a while and had cracked. I think it's dried out a little bit, but I'm glad to see that it lit. So that I'll set the pot right there at on that, and the lid over the pot. Let that boil a little faster. Those flames are just kicking it up and around there. That leaves a residue that comes off real easily. Okay, I think if we're got a rolling boil going on there, and you can see I burned away a little bit more than than half of that fuel tablet to get it to a rolling boil, so you have a little extra there. It's 40 degrees out here, and so was the water when we started. Now what I got going on with this wood stove, I used the leftover solid fuel tablet there as a fire starter for this one, and just taking a bunch of sticks that are in between a pencil and a finger and broken them down so that they're shorter than the stove itself. This is really my favorite solid fuel stove. I like it because it's so versatile too. I'll use this as a windscreen for an alcohol stove if that's what I'm using. But I really like using it as a wood stove like this, and you can see you can get a little fire going in there, and these titanium walls are going to keep the heat going back in here, so that's a little warmer than campfire would be a similar size. And it's its own windscreen, obviously, so I'm going to take some water that hasn't been boiled yet. Put in about 2 cups in there. We'll bring that to a boil too. Obviously it's really nice not to have to bring out any fuel. There's sticks everywhere you go. It'll burn just about anything. It's got little vent holes on the bottom, so it will draw air up from the bottom. You won't need to worry about that. And it's not the fastest stove at boiling water, that's for sure. But it's reliable, and it's lightweight. And it aside from using it as a windscreen, it's a windscreen and pot stand in one, and I love that about this stove. But there we can see our coals nice and hot in there. They're fed like so. So the Esbit solid fuel tablet stove that I used, which was really just a platform to put the solid tablet on with the windscreen, also came with an alcohol stove. So this is the Spirit made by Esprit, and there's my camera, and there's me. What this is really is just a small cup of alcohol with burner holes in it. Now this one has got hollowed out sides from here to here, and this is probably one of the more complicated. This is some people will call this a Trangia knockoff, because Trangia makes really good brass stoves that seem to be cut from the same cloth. And now that is going. I can feel some heat. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you kind of have to check with your hand when you light these. And what that's going to do is warm everything up and let the alcohol bloom, meaning that it's going to, the fumes are going to start coming out of the burners as they heat up, as the metal heats them up, and they'll be like burners on your stove at home. So this is the cap that came with it, and when I took the cap off, this seal had some alcohol around it, and it wets the threads around there. This is just a snuffer cap, or you can use that to regulate to simmer with. But there are a lot simpler alcohol stoves out there. Check out this video to see one that set of instructions we have to make one, and check out this video of Cole Craven's that's even simpler. And I don't know if you could hear that or not. That little pop is, it started to ignite the burners on the side there, and then you can just set your pot right over that, just like we did with the solid fuel tablet, and bring that to a boil like that. Putting that out. Now this has a handy little handle on there, so I can do that. Now I don't want to put the lid back on. I want to let that cool before I put the lid with the rubber O-ring back on. What we got right here is the MSR Whisper Light. This is another liquid fuel. You want to keep some white heat or some kerosene in this fuel canister that's refillable. And then we prime that up, and this actually changes over to gas. It's liquid to gas exchange. Just under this burner where I lit that is where that changeover is happening. And then I'm gonna set a pot down right on that. Now you can see this kind of, it's a little more to this setup. It's a little bigger with the windscreen. There's a little more maintenance to it, a little more setup to it, but it's tried and true, and this is a really good stove. So that leaves us with gas fueled backpacking stoves, and the standard for us are the Pocket Rocket and the Jetboil. The Jetboil is an integrated cooking system. Everything that you see here and a few other parts, another cup, a lid, and a pot stand for using not the Jetboil pot. All of that fits inside this canister. So this is all the one compact, always works go-to system. So this Jetboil comes with a lot of cool accessories, and one of them is this pot holder, and you can throw this on your Jetboil, and it really gives you all the functionality that a Pocket Rocket has. So you can set a different pot on there, and it comes with a big group cooking pot or a frying pan made especially to go with the Jetboil. They're all really good accessories, and I really don't have a lot of complaints about the Jetboil. The only thing is, like other gas stoves, is it can cook too hot too fast. So when you see the size of the Pocket Rocket, you may think it's one of the smaller stoves, but you also have to use fuel canister with that. And you'll need to carry some kind of pot also with that, just like you would with every other stove. So this is really just replaces this one component in the Jetboil system. You can see in here. So these work. This particular one, you turn on the gas, and then You have a little piezoelectric there. Let me get some water in here, because you don't want to turn your Jetboil on without having some water in there to dissipate the heat. And then this has got a heat indicator right here, which is really nice. I let this heat indicator go halfway up, and then I know if I want to drink some hot cocoa or coffee that the water is done. But you can regulate the heat on this and the Pocket Rocket with this same knob. And the Pocket Rocket comes with a little external piezoelectric starter, or you can use a match or a lighter. And it's got these 3 legs that turn up, and a regulator also, and that just goes on this canister. Now these canisters are interchangeable. Right now, today, all I have are Jetboil jet power fuels, but the MSRs they're all standardized. It doesn't matter who you buy it from per se. You're just looking for this connector that will match up with that. And you can see this is already boiling, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. And that heat indicator is halfway up, so that's how I want my water to drink. And then same concept, I'm just putting a put some water back in this. And I really don't require a windscreen here. And then let's try and start this with this little piezoelectric guy. So you can see that you really get flame all over the bottom, and it's a hotter flame than your other stoves, and that's why these stoves powered by gas canisters are so much faster. And I don't necessarily think that that's the best quality to have in a stove, because I don't normally find myself in a situation where I want the water to boil really fast. Normally when I'm out on the trail cooking, out backpacking, cooking with one of these stoves, I don't mind sitting around for a while and waiting for the alcohol or some wood to boil the water that I need boiled. So collectively, the Miami Valley Gear Guys own 26 backpacking stoves, and those stoves are made by 8 different manufacturers. By far we have more MSR stoves than any other type as far as manufacturer goes, but there's no contest. Our most used stove is the Jetboil, and that's because it's all contained in one, and it's a gas stove, and it's real quick and reliable, and it's a no-brainer to throw in your pack, everything in one piece. It's real versatile. One of my favorite stove, though, I'd have to say is that Vargo wood stove, because it's the most versatile, and it's truly the lightest weight stove because the fuel is waiting for you when you go out there. So those are my thoughts on stoves. We like making these videos, and we hope you like watching them. If you do, click subscribe. We're also on Facebook, so like us on there or follow us on Instagram. Thanks for watching.